Hey traders, how are you? Rick here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. Hey, bear with me a little bit today. I'm hopefully getting over a springtime cold, so I'll do my best not to hack into the microphone here, okay? All right, so I've got quite a few trades I want to post at today, actually 14, and let's start with the market here, okay? SPY had a terrific little breakout Friday. Great. I mean, absolutely beautiful little breakout. And if we go back and take a look at the chart pattern, what a beautiful chart pattern and price action getting us there. We had a bullish piercing candle right here. Bullish piercing candle. And actually, if you go back a little further, see where we've moved to the downside. We've rallied up. And yes, we made a lower low, but we came back with a bullish piercing candle. And more importantly, we had follow through. So here's our follow through. And then a little bit of a little slide to the downside. This is what we call a PBO, by the way, pullback opportunity. And it's a J-hook continuation pattern when it broke out right there. Beautiful, beautiful chart. Absolutely beautiful. In the scans that I use, the scans that I scan for my charts, built into the scans, I have things like trending moving averages. So you don't see a lot of moving averages on my chart. What you see here is the Trendicator. It's the only indicator I'm going to use today, is just simply the Trendicator here. But in the background with the scans, I do have other things going on. Moving averages acting bullish, okay? So there's a few other things in the background that's going on as well. But that's one of the things that I really kind of want to mention here to you. The Qs, great day on the Qs. We popped right up over this resistance right in here. So here, nice little, well, let's just draw this out. You can see that we've gone from this high to a low to this high right in here where we failed, and then back down to a higher low, and then here we've broken out. Can you see the bullish W pattern there? Here, I'll move this in or draw this out in a different color. See the bullish W pattern now. Now we certainly may see some consolidation. There's no doubt about it. But overall, bullish chart, absolutely bullish chart. Okay, let's take a look at some charts. And the first chart I want to start with is going to be WTI. And the reason WTI is, I had somebody ask me, I posted some of these charts in our Facebook group, user group, and somebody asked me why I like WTI. So I'm going to go through, we're going to look at these charts. I'm going to do my very best explaining why, and, well, we'll just take it from there. So, again, built into the scan, I have moving averages that are trending. And that's one of the things I want to see is moving average that's trending. And I like to look for what we call PBOs. These are pullback opportunities. So right now, I'm going to look at this as a pullback opportunity. Here we've rallied up and we've pulled back, and we're starting to see price action reversal. Now, a pullback opportunity is not anything until you start to see a bullish action reversal. And that's what we're seeing right here. Friday's candle suggested that the bulls have become very interested in this chart. You can see that here we're down, up, down, and you see how we're moving up here. Anyway, to me, this looks like a terrific chart. Has some great upside potential to it. Now, one of the things that was mentioned, and we'll look at other charts that I think will have this on there as well, is what about any resistance over here? Look, here's the thing with resistance. And every trader, to me, has got to have some plan. What is it you trade? Do you trade anything and everything? Do you trade charts that are doing a rising twist with a triple flip? That sort of thing. If resistance bothers you, the only thing you're going to be able to trade is trade stocks making all-time new highs. It's that simple. Any kind of a pullback, you're going to have resistance on the left side. Now, while I absolutely pay attention to resistance, my number one focus is going to be price action. So, yeah, we may come up here and there may be a little resistance. There might be. We might even stumble for a few days. Very possible. And yes, it could absolutely fail. But until price says so, I'm not worried about it. Again, as a trader, I think all traders need to have an edge. And what is your edge? My edge is following price. That's one of my edges, following price. So I'm going to follow price on this. I see a reversal pattern being made here. And it is true, there's not going to be a lot of money made on this until it breaks out. So, and it's possible we even wait for a breakout for a buy. I can't predict where we're going to buy it because I've got no idea what the market's going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't have a clue. So this is on our watch list. We'll keep it on our watch list as long as it maintains a bullish attitude. And if it walks itself into our buy pocket, then we'll look for that buy. All right, let's look at a few more of these. Here's CVX. So the truth is on CVX, take a look at that. Is that resistance? Of course it is. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Whoops, that was the wrong thing here. Let me get rid of that. There we go. So thank goodness stocks break out of resistance, because if they never broke out of resistance, well, I wonder what the market would be like if stocks that went down never broke out of resistance and they just kept going down and never could break out and kept going down, never could break out. You see where this story could be going? So thank goodness we break out of resistance. So this chart here, in the background, again, when I'm scanning for stocks, I have a trend based on moving averages working. And this trend is starting, or this trend is working. We've rallied up. We've pulled back. We have made a low, a high. We've come back, and it appears we're making a higher low. Now, I certainly can't predict. Tomorrow, Monday, are we going to do this? I can't predict that. Are we going to do this? I can't predict that either. All I can do is look at chart patterns, any trend that have worked in the past a higher than normal number of times. That's probabilities. And that's what we're looking for. So we're going to watch this for a buy. And the buy could be absolutely above that line, and it could be below that line. Again, we're going to wait for price to move into our buying pocket. Okay, here's another chart that I believe is setting up pretty nice, and it's Gush, G-U-S-H. We have a, let me do this. Let's leave it right there. Here we've been down, up, and then down, then up. And this is our reversal point right here. And then let's change the color here. And from here we went up to a higher low, so a high, a higher low, and now we've made a higher high. So at this point right here, which I'm going to draw another line in there, above 74.02, or above this candle right in here, this is where it's bullish. So what I'm going to look for is a nice little buy inside this area right here. Now some may look at the chart and say, well, what about that resistance right there? Well, again, I want to point out that I'm going to follow price. And if price says that that is going to be a problem, then I will get out of it if I do get in it. Another way to trade this, of course, is to maybe wait for that breakout. Of course, when you wait for the breakout, now you're going to be staring at this line up here. So maybe it's wait for the breakout again. Now, the only way I'm going to buy this is if it pulls back and gives me a decent entry. And I won't know what that entry is till it's actually staring me in the face. I'm just not going to arbitrarily say, hey, Monday, I'm going to buy this at X dollars. So we're going to wait for the proper setup, the proper price action. The setup is there. We're just going to wait for the price action to give us what we feel is a good entry, and then we'll trade this here. Another one is Love, LUV. Oh, and by the way, I've got a couple more oil stocks on here, and the oil just rocked Friday. So if there's some good follow through on oil, we should do well with it. Love, Southwest Airlines is setting up. Again, everything I'm looking at comes from a couple of different scans I have on my live trading alert scanner. And one of the things I have built into the scanner is a trend. And the trend is based upon a moving average, basically rising, a couple of moving averages sometimes rising. So here we've pulled back with a bullish engulf reversal signal. We've rallied up to show that positive trading, and we're moving sideways. And this is what we call a pop out of the box. Now, we haven't had the pop yet. The pop would be if something like that happened. Could be any day next week. Could happen. And of course, there's always the chance that it doesn't happen. So a couple of possible buying areas that I'm going to look at is inside this box right in here. Really, any one of these candles, not likely that one for me, but this could have been a buy. The doji could have been a buy. And then, of course, when I see bullish action in here, then this may be a buy for Love, LUV. Here's another oil stock, Devon Energy. And here's our rally up. And then you see the pullback here. And I'm going to put this right down into here. Now, this is suggesting some pretty good support. And you can see the price action here is giving us a low. We can go to a high, to a higher low. And then see how we have a higher high right there. And if we draw this down, there's our bullish W pattern. So I'm going to be looking at this buy signal or a reason to buy it on consolidation next week. And then we'll look at trading this upwards to retest these highs and possibly break out. Fang is another nice looking chart. Looks very much the same as that DVN. We're just going to put a line under there for support. You can see how we've rallied down, kind of made that little high, that little low, and then back up. Let's just take this and move that line right in there. So anything above 77, I'm going to look at as bullish. Once again, I get asked this an awful lot. Am I concerned about the resistance? And the answer really to me is no. We're following price. Now, I don't particularly want to buy this, say, right up here. I don't want to do that. But if this pulls back in this area here, then I will look for a buy signal in there. So something like that right in there. Again, resistance to me is just simply a speed bump. Now, I get it if somebody wants to wait for a breakout. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. I think every trader needs to develop what they like in a chart and what they don't like in a chart. And then you need to search for the charts that meet your criteria. This meets every criteria that I could possibly have. just waiting for an entry. MRO, look at that. Look at that downtrend. We've now got ourselves a PBO set up, pullback opportunity, and we're going to wait for the price action to give us the opportunity. It has done that. If this was bought Friday, great. That would have been a perfect area to buy. Again, I can clearly see that we might have a little resistance in this area right there. But if price blows through it, then it's no longer resistance in here. So what I'm going to look for is a nice pullback. I love this price action going from this low. Here's a high and then a slight little flag pullback, and then we've broken out here. So we'll look for MRO to move higher. To give you an example, it's not on the list. XOM is one we are already in, and I actually bought it when it broke out, when it started to break out up here. And I've lived with the pullback, and now here it's starting to move back up. So I'm not concerned about the resistance. It's the price action I'm looking at. BKD, again, I apologize. My voice running a little low here. I'll see if I can get through this, though. BKD is another chart that looks to me like it's sitting up. I love charts that are trending, and then I love charts that rally up, pull back, rally up, pull back, rally up, pull back, rally up, pull back. And that's what we're looking for, those rally ups and then pullbacks. PBOs, pullback opportunities. Absolutely love those. And here we've moved right back to the Trendicator. We've popped up here, nice consolidation, great candle Friday. This looks like it. The buyers are coming back in, and this is the kind of chart we want to look at, that I want to look at anyway. For those that are looking for charts under $10, this might be one to keep an eye on. EOG, I think, is a fabulous, absolutely fabulous looking chart. Once again, we've got a trend moving up here. The Trendicator is moving up. And I know that there are some folks that wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole because of that resistance. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you're a trader that says, this has got to break out first, I understand that. I totally, completely understand. Other traders are going to look at this, and they're going to look for a buying opportunity in this area right here. And I don't think either one of those are wrong. In fact, I can't guarantee that I'm going to buy it in this area. I absolutely may break out or may wait for that breakout. When I post charts in social media or here, they're not necessarily meant to be bought right now. These are charts that look to me like they're going higher. So if I was to ask what anyone likes about this chart, then you've got to make that decision. Are you looking for wait for that breakout? It's awfully close. This is the kind of chart we want on the watch list. If you're looking for a buy inside this area here, well, this is the kind of chart we want on our watch list. Cisco. Cisco is looking great here. Here's a nice little rally up. We've got a nice flag pullback. So I think what I'll be looking for on Cisco is just follow through over the little flag downtrend line here. So if it started to move up into this area, this might be a chart we consider for a buy. Target is putting in a very nice what we would call pop out of the box setup. Some traders are going to wait for the actual pop out. Some traders are going to buy inside that box. And you can clearly see that there are traders that have been buying it. Now, we're going to put this line right in there. And some may say, well, I want it to clear that resistance. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But everybody that looks at this chart might look at this and see higher prices. So it's just a matter of negotiating an entry that works for you as the trader. Same as me. I'm going to negotiate an entry that works for me. Alley is all set up. Now, I was already in Alley, and I actually closed it out Friday because I needed to pull some positions off the table, and I was good and green on this, so I pulled a position off to protect my investment. So, still a very bullish chart. We might be getting a little close to that top, so I totally understand that this just might be a better buy after it breaks out because we are getting awfully close. On the other hand, if it consolidated, I can also see where traders might be buying this on consolidation and just making sure you have a stop in there. ANF also setting up. Nice little flag set up here. Bullish engulf, rallied up. We've consolidated. Now it's just a matter of waiting for that price action that might lure us into the position. I also want to mention this. When I'm looking at charts, the charts to me is not necessarily about, say, from here to that high. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a path to profits. And if I see the path to profits, let's see, up here, then that's what I'm looking at. I'm not staring at this high. I'm not concerned about that resistance right there. However, I am watching price action. So as long as price action continues to work, well, we're good to go. Now, I do think the probabilities are extremely high that we consolidate in here just a little bit. But I also think there's a good probability of this moving higher. Now, if that is totally wrong and the sellers come in, we will see that on the candle. We will see that on the price action. So, our number one indicator is price action, and we use the candlesticks to give us a visual of that price action. The last chart I have here is TRQ. This is a copper trade. You see here we've rallied up, and here we've pulled right back to the Trendicator, and we're starting to put in a little bottom, trying to construct a bottom in here. Put a little downtrend line on there. If I see follow through, this just might be a pretty decent trade. We can put a line up here. I think that's showing a little bit of what we would call resistance. I understand that maybe the best trade might be right here for some traders, but some traders, the trade is going to be right here. When you look at this chart, you can clearly see there's buyers. There's no way that hammer would have been made without buyers. There's no way Friday's candle would have been made without buyers. So really, it's just a matter of finding what works for you. If you're having trouble finding what works for you, well, come on over to Hit Run Candlesticks. Maybe we can help you find that path. Maybe we can help you ask the questions. Maybe we can ask the questions for you. But either way, maybe we can figure out a way so you can find what works for you. And always remember that trading is risky. And honestly, trading sometimes is not for some people. It just is not. And you have to be very careful when you're trading. All right, everyone take care. Have a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. And I hope we have a terrific week this week. Thank you. We'll see everyone.